and thank you, Minister. There is no greater tyranny than that which is perpetrated under the shield of the law and in the name of justice. I oppose this bill, both the spirit of it and the letter of it. I also oppose the way that this bill and other measures like the extension of the sunset clause for Part 3 of the Health Act 2020, another draconian piece of legislation which underpins this current bill, are being railroaded through the House of the Oireachtas with little or no time for pre-legislative scrutiny or time for debate on amendments. Particularly speaking as an independent senator, without the machinery of the state or a political party machine behind me, this hastening and compressing of the legislative process is extremely prejudicial. Let us make no mistake, the fundamental rights and freedoms of the people of Ireland are being seriously eroded by the lockdown restrictions and the introduction of harsh enforcement powers, criminal sanctions, including fines and imprisonment, to force compliance. In fact, the government tries to blame the virus for damaging the health and wealth of the nation. In reality, it is the government that is damaging the lives, the health and wealth of the nation with its repressive lockdown policy. And there is no end in sight. They have no real solution in order to allow us to live with this virus. People are not stupid. The government should not be treating them as such. If the government had a sensible, sustainable plan of dealing with the pandemic and allowing people to get on with their lives, then the people would adhere to reasonable, proportionate measures such as hygiene and social distancing. Criminalising people is a sign of failure by this government and the previous government. This government is kicking people when they are down with this bill. This government is losing the support and confidence of the people day by day with their ill-conceived policies and counterproductive repressive measures. I oppose the introduction of the further powers permitting the Minister to make regulations regarding fixed penalty fines under Section 31A of the Health Act 1947 as amended. All of the powers of policing, of enforcement, the creation of new criminal offences, the creation of fines and of criminal sanctions are quite extraordinary. When the morale of the people is low, when people are under pressure, socially isolated, vulnerable, unemployed, under financial pressure, dole queues expanding, we kick them. The government is proposing that people can be fined €500 on the spot by members of An Garda Síochána for doing things that might not pose the slightest risk to anyone. On prosecution, people can be fined up to €2,500 or be imprisoned for 6 months. I question just how fair and necessary or proportionate this is. I question whether these are necessary. I oppose the intrusion of An Garda Síochána into the lives and into the homes of innocent people. You know, I know very little about legislation, but I know when I hear a speaker like Michael McDowell speaking and pointing out a flaw, and also when I hear one of your own senators from the government party also pointing out the same flaw, that you don't just say, look, I'll step out of the House tonight, I'll come back tomorrow and we'll amend that and get it right. Why can't you do that? What's to stop you doing that? The fact that this legislation is even being put in place from now until June 2020, that is absolutely wrong. We're not going to bring the people with us. You know, tonight we have had 7 deaths from COVID, which is very, very sad, and for all those families, they have my sympathy. There's 777 cases, which is a considerable drop in the numbers. 34% of those are over 45 years of age. Yesterday we had Minister Mary Butler in the House, telling us once again the mistakes that are being made in nursing homes throughout this country. And we haven't learned the lesson from the last time. Yet we're coming into this House and punishing all the people of this nation because of the failures of your government and your health service to act appropriately. I find it incredible, Minister. Thank you.
Senator Keogan, you talked about this intrusion of the Garda Síochána and the 7 deaths from COVID today. I didn't see the figures, and the 700 cases, I'm not sure. There is a reduction. I'm not sure is it the fact that it's a Friday, but if there is a reduction, it is good to see that reduction. And I hope by bringing to level 5, which nobody wants to bring to level 5, that we will be able to reduce the rate in the next 2 weeks.